In this tutorial, I would like to demonstrate just how easy it is to give a photo the look of a painted canvas within a few minutes using textures from the Bohemian Canvas collection. I will be working in Photoshop to demonstrate two images that I have chosen to apply this technique to. The first image is of a little newborn, as you can see on the left. The shoot took place in my studio using natural light. The settings were f-stop 1.8, shutter speed 1/500th of a second, and ISO 500. We are going to turn this image over here into this image in a matter of a minute or two. So let's begin. I have pre-edited this photo before texturing. I've sharpened it, punched up the colors, and softened the edges just a bit. And the texture that I have chosen is this one here, French Garden. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to desaturate it so that we take away most of the color, but we keep that wonderful linen texture to overlay on top of our photo. So we go up to Layer, Adjustment Layer, Hue Saturation, and I go down to about 75%. That's it. Layer, Merge Visible, and now we're going to swing this on top of our photo. So we grab our Move tool up here and we just drag and drop the texture across like that. And as you can see, I've been given those little bounding boxes. It doesn't have to be placed perfectly. You don't have to hit the Shift key so that you get the texture in the exact proportion, because it's very subjective and you can play around with the weave of the texture. It doesn't have to be perfect. Press Return or Enter to make sure that you seal on that transformation, or you really won't be able to do much else. Okay. Okay. Now, let's minimize this and let's take a look at this for a minute. Make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so here is our layers palette, and I'm going to use the blend mode hard light, and right away we get a textured canvas look. Bring it down a little bit. Now you might want to remove some off of her face, so we're going to go back up to normal, opacity 100%, so we only see the texture. Go over here to your color picker and select color that's in the general vicinity of her face. Press OK. Back down to our chosen blend mode hard light. Bring this back down. Press B for brush, and I'm going to reduce the opacity of my brush and just very lightly go over her face, not too much. And that's it. I don't like to remove too much of the texture when I want to create a canvassed image, because I do want the look of a painted canvas. And so that canvas has to come through in all parts of the photo, or painting as I like to say. Layer, Merge Visible, and we are basically done with this image. You can add a levels adjustment layer if you'd like. You might want to sharpen it some more, but this image is pretty much done, and I'm going to leave it just like that. The second image I'm going to demonstrate is this one here of a ballerina, and we're going to turn that photo into this painted canvas. Okay, so let's begin. Again, I will be working with French Garden, which is desaturated to 75%. The reason why I do this is because I want to keep that beautiful linen weave of the texture, but I really don't want to transfer its coloring this time to my photo. So I do want to keep some of the color, just a hint of it, but essentially I want to turn it into a black and white. That way the colors of the image itself will shine through, and it will just have a nice canvas texture over it. So again, we grab our move tool and drag and drop like this. And use those bounding boxes like so. And press enter or return. And here is our layers palette. Let's minimize this. Okay, again, the blend mode I'm going to use is hard light. And for me, the picture is practically done. I want to keep that light look because it says painting to me. So the only thing I might do is remove some of the texture again from her face. Not much though. And actually here I've actually have the color I need, but I'm going to do that again just to show you. Go back to hard light, which is my chosen blend mode in this case. Bring it down a little bit. B for brush is a nice soft brush, and again about 50%, and just take off some of the texture off of her skin. Not much. You might want to leave it on the back of her shoulders like this and on her hands here so that she looks like she is part of this canvas painting. You don't want her sticking out like a cutout. And that is it. Layer, merge visible, and the image is done. You might again want to add a levels layer to darken the edges a little bit and maybe give it a bit of sharpening, but essentially this image is finished.